What's up, guys? It's your boy Matt Pack 420 here, coming at you with a new one. And today we are going to be talking about we're going to talk about Paul Stanley, a little bit of D. Snider and Noodles from The Offspring, because I did see this come across my feed the other day. So I want to give my little talk on this because I'm I've had things to say about certain washed up rock stars, and that's still my opinion on a lot of these guys, but credit where credit is due. So Paul Stanley, the guitarist, co-founder, co-writer of a lot of songs in the band Kiss, put out a statement that got all the leftoids and all the people clinging on for attentions, panties in a bunch. And I use that I use that phrase on purpose here. So I want to read his little statement here. So my thoughts on what I'm seeing. There is a big difference between teaching acceptance and normalizing and even encouraging participation in a lifestyle that confuses young children into questioning their sexual identification as though it were some sort of game, and then parents in some cases allow it. There are individuals who are adults, may decide reassignment is their needed choice, but turning to this into a game, or parents normalizing it as some sort of natural alternative, or believing that because a little boy likes to play dress up in his sister's clothes or a girl in her brother's, we should lead them steps further down a path that's far from the innocence of what they are doing. With many children who have no real sense of sexuality or sexual experience, caught up in the fun of using pronouns and saying what they identify as, some adults mistakenly confuse teaching acceptance with normalizing and encouraging a situation that has been a struggle for those truly affected, and have turned it into a sad and dangerous fad. So basically what he's saying is, it's perfectly fine if adults want to do as they see please and identify or change their, identity, their sex, whatever. But as far as children, we should not do that to children. We should let children discover themselves, and parents shouldn't be leading them toward these paths where you cannot turn back. Essentially is what he's saying. There was clips a few weeks ago about Jazz Jennings, that show I Am Jazz. I remember Jazz popping up years ago, and I thought it was kind of, what was that? I was like 20 at the time, so, I was all caught up in my own thing, but I do remember thinking, well, that's weird. I wonder what's going to happen to this person in 10 years. Are they going to, break and do their own thing, or they're just going to continue on this, this path? And boy, what we saw from that was kind of scary. Her mother threatening to wring her neck if she didn't stick her, dilator in her, makeshift vagina. That's ew. But yes, so of course you're gonna have pushback from the leftoid audience here, and the weirdos who have tried to who've brought, again, taken this acceptance thing to a way too far level. Yes, so he's already getting dragged a little bit here. Keith Olbermann, oh god, this person. Don't pay attention to Keith Olbermann. He is truly an asshole of assholes. It's not a game, you asshole. What you do is a game. What they face internally and now externally, due to their stupid panicky fascists like you, externally is an excruciating ordeal. Yes, Keith Olbermann's calling, these people fascists, I'm sure. Yes, he knows exactly what a fascist is. Yes, fantastic. Paul Stanley pontificating about adults normalizing and even encouraging participation in a lifestyle as if everyone over 45 didn't spend the 80s watching him posture about his sexuality like this. The unforgettable cringe. Yeah. Decline of Western civilization part 2. Look. The 80s. It was sex, drugs, and rock and roll, baby. We get it. And the funny thing is, Kiss went from doing this in the 70s, which was the whole reason for doing this, the whole macabre and wearing the makeup and the high heels, was to sexualize and be dark and evil. It was all about being not normal. It was theater. It was about not being normal. The whole point of going to a kids show is to be because you're going to see something that wasn't normal, that was out of the ordinary, that was over the top, full of fire and flames and blood and sex, and you know, that was the point. That was the whole point. And kids had to pivot from this because this became corny, and had to pivot to this because, again, the 80s was about excess, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, to the point where that became a meme, and bands like Metallica and Slayer spawned out of that, the thrash metal movement, because, again, they got tired of the image of metal. So metal, you know, is always changing, and you know, that's the whole point. These people don't understand anything. They're just raging on Twitter. Speaking of, we have Noodles, again, someone who's in the rock industry, a person I've lost a lot of respect for. I'll get into that why. This is a very disappointing take, especially from someone who wore high heels, makeup, and teased up hair his whole career. As a young kid, your band helped teach me that I could be whatever I wanted to be. I guess it was just gimmickry after all. Yes, it was just gimmicks after all, you fucking idiot. God, dude, and you're like not even... Here's my problem with Noodles and Offspring and a lot of bands as a whole, okay? When Offspring came out, they were a hardcore punk band. Like, not a hardcore punk band. They were a punk, though. Anti-establishment. The first album is nothing like anything else they ever did. They became very commercially friendly after that. But they still like their music. But, you know, I'm sick of these fucking idiots. These fucking rock stars. These rich assholes. Which, ironically, this weirdo leftoid tweets this comic I used out, which I used against Snider when he did his stupid shit, and Paul Stanley when they were talking about their vax mandates. So I've used this exact comic before too. The thing is, again, credit is due when it is due. When you say something correct, I'm gonna say, all right, I understand you. Even Snider's backing Paul Stanley. And Snider's a guy I've fucking called out for a lot of stupid shit too. All right, a lot of these rock stars, you know, are hypocrites, plain and simple. All right, but you know, Snider's right. Like, you know what? There was a time when I felt pretty too. Glad my parents didn't jump to any rash conclusions. Well said, Paul Stanley. Look, exactly. Look, Snider, another band that put up the makeup into the whole, you know, stupid glam thing. Definitely not gay and definitely not queer, just like Paul Stanley and the rest of Kiss, you know, and the original and the current members. But if these guys had been born, you know, today or today's times, yeah, I'm pretty sure they'd be pushing that kind of ideology onto them. Now let me get to Noodles here. Here's my problem with fucking Noodles. Wrong article, but I'll get to that too. So, and the band Offspring as a whole, they kicked out their drummer because he refused the jab. The reason he had refused the jab is because his doctor advised him from doing that because he had a specific disease that may cause complications by this specific jab. And so Pete Parada was the drummer that was kicked out of Offspring because he refused the jab. And the rest of the band, especially Dexter Holland, who wanted to do the whole holier than thou thing because I have a piece of paper that says I'm smarter than you because I went to a university. I'm smart. Fuck you, you fat fuck. No. I'm sick of these people. They don't have principles. Rage Against the Machine, guys who are going to go in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they have no fucking principles at fucking all. So, I'm sick of these fucking rock stars and having no principles. So if you're going to show a little bit of spine and put out a statement like this and take it, you know, more power to you. Another thing about Noodles, I'm stuck the Anheuser-Busch thing. You know, they went from the king of beers to the king of queers in one fucking weekend, and you're gonna stock your entire fucking fridge full of this shit. Well, I hope you know that, and look, I know he probably has deals with Anheuser-Busch at their, you know, on these tours and shit. I hope you know that when you stock the tours and all this shit full of this garbage beer, no one's gonna drink it. You're gonna end up not selling this shit, and you're gonna be made fun of. But whatever. Look, You know, I got a buddy who works in a pizza bar. It's literally a pizza bar. Like, you go and get a pizza and a beer. Like, it's a pizza bar. That's its shtick. And he has a beer for every pizza. Yeah, the Anheuser-Busch stuff ain't selling. Not just the Bud Light, the Budweiser, but the Modelo and the fucking Michelob. All the fucking Anheuser-Busch products are not selling great. You know what is selling great? The craft beer stuff. That stuff's selling great. So I've said this to the conservatives or whoever, you know. If you're upset with Bud Light, we have infinite amounts of craft beer right now. We live in the golden age. No, the platinum age. Let's see. I'm gonna start using that. We live in the platinum age of fucking golden beers. Why are you still drinking piss water like Bud Light? Why are you still drinking piss water like Miller and Coors? All right. Why are you drinking corporate piss water? You can drink something that's a lot more flavorful and a lot more stout and will do the job for you a lot better. So I don't understand, but yes, go ahead and stock your fridge full of Bud Light noodles. Yes, do it, please do it. And they're gonna make fun of you and because again, and it's funny. Guys don't want to be seen as effeminate, and that's the real reason. I've made the jokes about, you know, I made a joke about a guy drinking a Bud Light. I said, "What is the bottom surgery?" And he asked me, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And then I explained to him what's going on. Yes, so people don't want to be seen effeminate. Guys aren't gonna come up here with a Bud Light and go to the girl and be like, "Hey, you know, want a beer?" You know, no, you're gonna get made fun of. So it is a meme to troll Bud Light. People don't even understand why now. They're just doing it because, again, within one weekend, we are a month later, and Bud Light went from the king of beers to king of beers. Yes, so please do this, Noodles. Please make yourself. You are a 60-year-old washed up loser that doesn't make any new music. That's the thing, and I will criticize Kiss for that. I'll criticize Offspring for that. I'll criticize a lot of bands for this. They have not made any new music in a long fucking time, and anytime they're going on tour, they're touring on the fucking hits. There's nothing new. All right, say what you want about Metallica, Megadeth, or any of these other fucking, you know, bands you say are washed up and old. They're still putting out new fucking music. All right, Korn put out a new album not too long ago. Metallica just put out a new album, and it's a banger. All right. Megadeth not too long ago, they're working on a new album too. And I know they kicked that Dave Ellefson. That's a whole other video. But look, there are bands that are still around putting out new music and touring on it. Rage Against the Machine, you're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and you know, I guess to a point I would say deservedly so. But I mean, they put you in before a lot of other motherfuckers. Before Iron Maiden? Are you fucking kidding me? No, this is a joke. This is a fucking joke. Yeah, Johnny Rotten was right to piss all over the fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, it was great. So the Sex Pistols get inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and he writes a letter that he pisses on and mails it. It says, "Your Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is a piss stain, and I'll never be caught dead in that fucking place." So, you know, go fuck yourselves, basically. And that's great stuff. You know, Johnny Rotten, one guy who hasn't ever sold out. So I feel bad about his wife. 40 years, she passed away of Alzheimer's. So, but he was her sole caretaker, and he's a good dude to the end. You know, he rough around the edges, but yeah, you know, John Linden, I believe his name. He's a principled guy. So very few guys are principled, but again, if you're gonna put out this statement on social media in today's day and age, you know, I'll give you a little respect. So a little respect to Paul Stanley, no respect to Noodles of the Offspring. Yeah, actually, matter of fact, Noodles, you can go fuck yourself. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. If you like what you see, like and share, go like, share, subscribe. You can follow me on social media. I'll have all the links in the description. Check out my live streams on Rumble. We be playing some Destiny or some Halo this weekend. I'm not sure which one. There's an event going on, but I will be streaming and doing This Weekend Stupid on Saturday. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.